Good morning, everybody. Froggy Stocks here. Nothing I say is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Happy Thursday. Thursday the 21st. Yesterday was an interesting day. FOMC. They held rates at the current. They didn't do any cuts or hikes. They held it, which is hawkish. For the time being, it's pretty incredible, but stocks absolutely reacted to it yesterday. TMF, like I said, if they would have raised rates, probably would have been a little better, in my opinion, for TMF. It's down back to 529. That is totally fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and load up some more here in a little bit. Let's see here. 551 was the all-time low on TMF. We bounced. Pretty much got a double bottom if you're not counting the wick out. TMF started springing back up. Like I said, TMF's a long-term play. You got to wait for the economy to roll over. You got to wait for a couple other things to happen. You got to wait for interest rates to roll back. Shorting treasuries to all-time highs by hedge funds is absolute disaster in the making. While we wait, we have a massive immigration influx coming across the border. And it's really important for people to understand why Democrats are allowing this to happen. This is a left, right, whatever. Republicans, oh, close the borders. We need controlled immigration. Democrats, no, everybody deserves a fair, free chance. There is not a single person in the Democrat Party right now that can say they actually work for proper immigration reform, because open borders is an absolute disaster in the making. You could literally immigrate an entire military in through the southern border and we would never know it. Now, Republicans, their problem is they're like, okay, build the wall, shut down immigration, la 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 la. But you have to set up the border so people and families can actually still immigrate properly and effectively into the U.S. Now, on both sides, this is what's really interesting. What's up, Jason Richard? What's really interesting is we have a massive influx in immigration because both sides know we need it, and because the big banks and the lobbyists are telling them to allow it. What's going to happen is we're going to get millions and millions of new immigrant families in. They're going to come in at the peak of the housing market and they're going to try to buy homes. They're going to get ninja loans. The banks and Zillow and everybody else is giving out really shady high interest rate loans. And what they're going to do is they're going to lock those new immigrants in to high interest rate homes for 40 years so that we have a dedicated workforce for production in America for the next 40 years. That's the trade-off. A lot of people coming from outside the US have nothing. They come here, they work hard. If they get the loans or not, I don't know, but it is set up for them to target immigrants and high interest rate loans and homes that are overvalued by 20 to 30%, so they can start their life here. It's just how it works. Without it, I highly doubt our banking system would function properly, and our housing market would be even worse trouble than it is right now. So really interesting. ARCC just putting around. Again, that's a long-term hold too. Just going to hold that, collect some dividends while I wait. Always earn money. I keep telling everybody this. You don't have to have all your money in single plays. You don't have to always be on a catalyst play, but don't just let your money sit there. If you have money sitting there and you're doing nothing with it, treasuries are yielding T-bills are yielding 5.21% right now. If you have a ton of money just sitting in the bank and it's only earning 0.02%, you're wasting time and money. Go buy treasuries or a T-bill and get 5.5% for them for 4 weeks or 2 years, whatever you want. It's really interesting times. The fact that T-bills are up so high is really interesting. So check the Twitter sphere real quick. Actually, I need to check my account balances and see if any more money came in. Let's see, balances. Oh, I think I'm all in. I think I got everything all in now. Or no, I got some rolling over tomorrow. So I had TMF, HE space, ARCC. I got some ARCC calls just in case things went a little better yesterday. They may pop this morning. We'll see. It's holding strong. I'm waiting to see. ARCC does a lot of debt lending, so if interest rates remain the same or they remain higher, I or they go higher, it's usually good for ARCC, which is why you see the steady growth that it's had for years. But it is hitting all-time highs. It is trying to form a double top here, almost a triple top. Pretty close. I think it's going to try to break out and continue. They've got a $21 price target on it. Hopefully in the next couple days, or at least the next week, this thing finally retests 1956. If it does, I'll be in the money printing on my call option. If it breaks out and tries to shoot for the 21 price target, that would be phenomenal. Because right now, this is a really good company. This thing has paid dividends. And again, I regret ever getting out of it. It's paid dividends for almost its entire life, even through the crashes. The dividends were reduced slightly, but as their practices and as the economy started coming back around, they came back up. So really interesting. That one's just one I'm just going to continue to keep buying little by little each month. What else is going on here? Share the call. If you could please like the video. I appreciate it. I got a feeling pretty soon we're going to have market events again and things are going to get really interesting. And then suddenly my channel's going to pick up again, which will be fun. But for now, it's just fun to get on here and talk. And some people come in and drop some stock picks. So let's see. What else are we doing? Hawaiian Electric, still the same thing. These articles coming out from these big funds are saying that the firefighters went on break again at the site of the brush fire that caused the Lahaina fire. They took a 40-minute lunch break, and during that time, the fire apparently flared back up, or the site flared back up and caused those issues. I am really surprised. Well, TMF fell off today. The 5% discount today is because they just paid the dividend. That's exactly what it is. Boom. TMF discount today. Dividend was paid on the 19th. U.S. Treasuries. Yeah, so that's a good move today to grab some of that up. I'm actually, let me see where I'm sitting on my portfolio with this. TMF, I got a lot. But I'm not even really down it. I was up yesterday, I'm down today just a little bit. It's not nothing to be concerned about at all, but wish I could have got this 5% discount today, but I think I'm going to have to pass on it. It's too bad. Space just popping around still. They did a really good post yesterday, Virgin Galactic, with some of the spaceflight passengers. This video is great. And all I did was I retweeted it and commented, "You're telling me that this is a $2 stock? I know it's a big float and I know they've diluted a lot. But the tech, the IP, the flight tech in this is worth more than $2 a share, even at 500 million some in the float. It's crazy what's going on with space. And I think potentially this thing was just because of all the FAA delays and everything that happened. And their first flight, they went a little off course and the FAA grounded them for a long time, which started the big downtrend on their stock. I mean, they were sitting at $60 a share at one point. Way smaller float. They raised a lot of cash. But look at how bad this thing got attacked and then shot back up and then got attacked again. And I think eventually what's going to happen is when space starts coming in and they produce a couple more planes, they produce a couple more ships, and they start flying more consistently, you're going to see NASA and the DoD and many other institutions and businesses start contracting them. So let's see here. Just for an example, the Kármán line is an imaginary line that defines the border between outer space and Earth's atmosphere. And from my understanding, the International Space Station is way above that. To my understanding, Virgin Galactic flies 6.5 kilometers over that, I believe. So they go into actual space. So they actually, if I'm thinking correctly, they should have the capability to have satellites into low Earth orbit. So that's interesting. Like I said, contracts are going to be a big thing for them. We are 14 minutes till market open. Other than that, they said they found the missing F-35, which is funny. I'm a really skeptical on all that stuff. Aerial images show the wreckage of the missing 100 million F-35B, which has been located in Williamsburg County, South Carolina. So they said it crashed in South Carolina, flew on autopilot, crashed. The crash site looks kind of, I don't know. The funny thing is they said they lost it. They couldn't find it. It was in flight still. The pilot ejected due to bad weather, is what I was reported. And it's really interesting because those aircraft have multiple avionics systems that lead to being able to track it as per our tech. Like our tech, it's, you got like IFF and you have different Blue Force tracker systems and such that we can track our planes almost anywhere all the time. So I'm really curious as to how all these systems failed for the US systems not to be able to track the bird. How did all these systems fail? Did the pilot zero everything out when he ejected? Did the pilot even eject himself? They need to do an investigation and they need to come out and tell everybody. The problem is, even if they do now, what's happening is people have lost so much faith in the government that they literally don't believe anything that comes out as the official story. So it's pretty wild. Other than that, let's check unusual. See what's going on here. 67% of Gen Z investors want to allocate their portfolios in a way that supports causes they care about. Meanwhile, it is 59% of millennials, 45% of Gen X, and 3% of boomers. Yeah. U.S. housing affordability has hit its worst point in nearly decades per Bloomberg. How do you create a dedicated 40-year workforce? Bad home loans at high interest. Our workforce is terrible. The U.S. workforce is a disaster. People's kids do not want to go to work. People don't want to go to work. And the turnover rates on a lot of businesses are disgusting. So what do? You open the borders up and you get millions, tens of millions of immigrants coming in. Yeah, that was my water from yesterday. Tastes kind of weird. Tens of millions of immigrants coming in who are just trying to make it. So the first thing they do is they come in, they start looking for jobs, they get some government help, some government assistance, and then suddenly, bing, bang, boom, you're getting your first home loan and you're getting it at 8 to 10% and you're buying 30% over market value and you're getting a 35, 40-year amortization and you're stuck in that for the rest of your life, but your kids have a better opportunity. So Pretty wild. The gold markets in China and USA are diverging. The gold markets are going to be, gold and silver is going to be one of the biggest things that happens. I don't know if it's the next 10, 20 years, whatever it is. But the manipulation in the gold markets, especially after we saw what happened in London's, the LME, the London Metal Exchange last year, where they literally had a nickel squeeze and the Chinese businessman got margin called and he's basically like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that margin call. You can screw yourselves. And they had to reverse trades. It's absolutely crazy. I don't think TMF is going under 5 personally, in my opinion. I think it's already started to, let's see here. Let's go. It took a hit. They paid the dividend. It took a hit. The Fed's hawkish. I'm sure somebody's coming in or shorting it more. But we're starting to see these pretty predictable downtrend and uptrend patterns here. If anything, can't really consider that a trend, I guess. Yeah. If anything, it's already reversed and it's in its new reversal phase. We'll see this morning. I'm thinking today it takes back a little bit. This article from Seeking Alpha. I don't really like Seeking Alpha. They put this on August 8th. The mother of all short squeezes in treasuries. A credit event appears likely, and the flight to safety trade in treasuries should intensify. TMF is a leveraged bet on long-term treasury bonds. The TMF ETF can provide substantial returns in trending market, but investors must understand the risks and actively manage. We'll see. I'm gonna try to find a short data on TMF. Or how much they've actually shorted the ETF. It doesn't have any. It doesn't show anything. Let's check Fidelity, see what they say. Did I close money on Fidelity? MCB took a little hit yesterday too, which I think is really good. I'm hoping this thing falls off. I forgot to tell you guys this. I took a little position on MCB on the put side. This thing has been trending down for a while. I should have got back in a long time ago. I don't know why my freaking lines keep moving on this, but I should have got back in on this a long time ago. I got mad, the whole Jamie Dimon pump thing. I should have seen the gap fill. But I took a small position short term because I do think it's going to come back down and retest some of these levels. 3140, 3150 is probably definitely something that could happen. So we'll see. I think they're going to come out and most banks are going to produce good earnings again this next quarter. But it's going to start getting really rough because nobody wants these home loans right now at 8.5 to 9% interest. Nobody wants them. Plus, the values are still way too high. Just home values in Albuquerque is crazy. Let's do Paradise Skies is somewhere around here, I think. I mean, these homes, most of these homes were built in 97. Most of these homes are built in 97 and they're base model cookie cutter, nothing fancy on the inside of them. Some have been updated, but even this one, let's just check this one out. $255,000. And for Albuquerque, not too bad. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1 garage, 1,000 square feet. That's pretty bad. I mean, they've got some good amenities in the neighborhood, which is kind of cool, but I mean, this house is not worth $255,000 in reality. Look at this thing. This thing is so outdated. Everything needs updated. The appliances are old. This is probably a rental that someone is trying to dump back out on the market, more than likely. Personally, I'd rather have that place. I love my place, but man, I hate cleaning up dog hair over a big, wide open area. I'm in a 1,700 square foot house, and to me, this feels really big because it's just me here. And I paid I think I paid $300,000 for this one, which I think was overpriced too at the time, but I didn't have any other option. It was the best deal in the area for what my situation was. Oh man, TMF opened up way down. Oh, let's see. This thing's going to be at a great discount. I'm definitely going to have to get some more. MCB opened up. Oh, MCB opened up way down. All right. 33. 95. Where were we at? 34. Holy crap. Nice move. Looks like the market is most definitely reacting to the hawkish Fed. Let's give her a minute and see what she does. Is that below one of my support levels? Oh, it is. Woo, we may be going to 31. We go to 31, that's going to be a good payday on those puts. My ARCC calls are just still sitting there. ARCC's not really moving too much. We'll see. It did take a little hit, I guess. Nothing really bad this morning. It happened more yesterday in pre-market. Hopefully ARCC pops back up and recovers. HE, same thing. We're waiting for September 28th. TMF had a major discount today. I'm liking that. I may throw some more at it. MCB. I want to see some more downside on MCB. I'm going to be a little patient. I'm up 17% right now. But I think today is going to be pretty ugly. Woo-wee. Woo. Ugly. What do we open down? 2.5%? Hawkish Fed scared everybody. Oh, and on MCB, my whole theory with this Jamie Dimon thing where he pimped the market right here, I was up so much money right here. It was stupid. I just didn't get out of the play. I got greedy and thought this thing was going under, and it should have probably went under. But Jamie Dimon come out, pimped the market, probably dumped a bunch of money here and there into places, and I think he pumped MCB back up here just for exit liquidity. MCB is actually underwritten by JP Morgan, which is really funny. It's crazy that these big guys can come out and do that type of stuff. You can be short, you can be long, you're screwed both ways if you're a retail investor. It doesn't matter because big money already knows where you're at, what you're doing. They've got the algos. Oh, space open up down again. I just think stocks are just going to get absolutely hammered today. What's Inovix doing? Ooh, Inovix looks great today. Inovix looks good for maybe some calls today. Is there any gaps to fill? I don't see any gaps, but I hate how slow MCB ticks, though. The data comes in slow. This could just open right back up here in a minute. I think we got more meat on the bone on this one. Check and see if there's any big news coming out. Did I miss something? Usually Unusuals has something right away. Nothing. I think it's just the market reacting to the Fed. Ugly day today. That's okay. Actually, it's really looking like a good time to possibly throw money at TMF if you're trying to get in. This looks like it's about to start a little recovery here. Now that MCB is below the one support line I was looking at on the short term, it's got to try to find support at 32. I'm guessing 31.90, 32. If it doesn't find support there, this could get ugly quick. This thing could this thing could come all the way back down to, if it doesn't find support at 32, MCB could come back down to 20 bucks. Might have been better just to short it. Well, it would have been way better just to short it back. I can't believe I lost focus, and again, I got mad over the Jamie Dimon thing and got focused in AMC again, but I didn't see this gap fill. I should have shorted it right at this freaking gap fill, man. I need to refocus up. But it's looking good today, so we're in it. Let's see what's going on here. Too many X apps open. Red Bill 21. I was counting on rate lowering next year. The SEP said rates were going to be higher for next year. Yep. If they raise rates, it's going to be really interesting. But inflation ticked up. CPI was hot, hotter than expected a couple days ago. So if they next FOMC, if they have, or next CPI, if it comes in hotter than expected again, and inflation starts creeping back to the upside, they have to raise rates to try to stem this, because they've created a situation now where bad actors and players in the market and the governments can continue to manipulate the economy to get interest rates as high as possible. So when said immigrants do come in and start taking home loans, they can lock them in to 30, 40-year labor force dependency. It's going to be pretty wild. Yeah, we'll see TMF pop back up. ARCC. I hate MCB. I wish I had more real time on MCB. I'm going to hate if this thing pops back up to like 34 something when it 34.50. I want to see it drop some more. That is a pretty decent sized drop for that stock. This could get really ugly for MCB. And when do banks report earnings? I don't know if banks have been hit yet hard enough by lending tightening. They could start showing stale profits or flat earnings into a complete nosedive on profits, because nobody wants to take out these ridiculous loans they're offering. Even when they're offering them at 1% down payment, you're still getting 10% or 8.5% on your interest. And unless you have the capability to pay more money down on that, like 100, 500 extra a month or whatever for the next 10 years, you're never going to get out from under it. You're going to be in debt your whole life. So that's going to be really interesting. Space ticking around. It looks like it all trying to tick back up. Well, ARCC is actually getting hit. I didn't expect ARCC to get hit like that with a hawkish Fed. I know lending practices are tightening, but ARCC is kind of a different type of lending. They're more corporate based. What else is going on? Any other news? If there's no other news, I may just kick off here. I'm not going to do a long stream today. No reason for it. New York's falling apart. New York Democrat Kathy Hochul. Come on, kitty. New York City's migrant crisis. Now the Democrats who are screaming for immigration to be open borders are the ones going, oh, we're having a migrant crisis. There's a way to do controlled immigration. Honestly, they need to incorporate blockchain into it, in my opinion. Blockchain immigration processing would be absolutely incredible, because the blockchain nodes could actually be hooked up with the what do you call it? Background check system. Edward Dealey, OSTK update. Let's see. I don't know, man. I haven't. Whoo, $17. So Bed Bath and Beyond, Overstock now, reported that the Bed Bath and Beyond earnings were not what they expected with the new IP and the new product and the new everything. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for Overstock to build the Bed Bath and Beyond brand back up. But you also have a lawsuit going on against BBBYQ people because apparently like $5 million went missing out of the employee retirement fund or something like that. It was pretty wild. So there's a lawsuit going on too. But you're looking to set up Overstock at 1705. Let's say 1750 on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a quintuple bottom. So I don't know. Maybe it breaks below it. This run to 39.27 based on the Bed Bath and Beyond brand and some of the IP and stock being acquired is what made this squeeze out. Now they're just attacking it back down with a little bit of bad news from the CEO. But I think in the next 2 to 4 years, Overstock is going to be an absolute powerhouse. I completely believe it. I think everybody's hurting the economy. Everybody is shopping's coming back in, credit's coming back in, lending's coming back in, and it's all tightening up and everybody's hurting. There's just nothing you can do about that. So I may hold out. I'm going to play TMF and ARCC and MCB in space long term or medium term at least because of the type of business that they're in. Treasuries, debt lending, MCB on the downside because the bank has horrible internal controls. The CEO is a scam artist. He's taken out bank loans from his own bank to buy stock in the company to try to float the stock. And then, of course, Jamie Dimon comes up and backs him up and pimps the market. So I'm going to try to make money on the TMF squeeze and the downside and the dividends on ARCC and then wait until this economy finally just takes a hit. The stock market's going to have to correct back down, in my opinion, to 2020 pandemic levels to get restarted and flush out all the free money that was pumped into the market via COVID. So you got the SPY. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, here's the pandemic. Here's the stock market crash. Here is all the free money and all the new investors went on an absolute tear, just out of control tear, right? And then the new all-time high at 467. This is on the SPY, by the way. You started seeing a downtrend, but they didn't want people to know the market was crashing again. So there was a huge, massive volatility in this. Bing, bong, bing, bong, bing. Then it found a bottom, started its trend again, and it's pinging close, but not quite to its all-time high and pinging off the top. And looks like it's starting another downtrend again on the SPY. SPY puts today would have been awesome. So I'm guessing with the SPY reversing back into a possible downtrend like we've seen from 21 to 22. What was that? Let's see. January 22 to November of 2022. Yeah, right at the end of the year to about November of 2022. If we see another downtrend like this start again here, then and it looks like it's setting up for it, then I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to come in and maybe buy some SPY puts out long term for, let's say, maybe even just February. That might be a good play there too. OSTK is going to be a long-term play though, guys. They had to fight Amazon. They had to fight the markets. They had to fight political ideologies or political attacks. But you got to remember, Overstock isn't just Bed Bath & Beyond. It's T0. It's now supposedly Grain Chain and a bunch of things going on. So I'm sure two Cohodes is working in the background somewhere trying to expedite everything. So according to reports this morning, 95% of NFTs are now worthless. Pathetic. I don't know. I haven't even looked at any of my NFTs. I figured that was going to happen though. Most of mine were for free. It was fun to learn blockchain tech though in the process because I think now blockchain tech is going to go to what it was meant to be in the beginning, which isn't for NFTs. What was the book I was reading? Mark's tweet made me think of something. Maybe it was These Are Plunderers. Maybe. I think I loaned a book to somebody and they never gave it back to me. Mark's tweet reminds me about when they buried the cat cables that went from Chicago to New York so they could trade microseconds faster than the other guys. I don't know, man. This market sucks right now. We had a big bullish mini bull run in a bear market, I think. The hawkish Fed just freaked everybody out. Stocks are reacting to it. That's why I played a little bit of downside. I'm hoping MCB falls off here. That's a good start to the day. I want to see it back down to maybe Friday. I want to see this thing back down to 31.70. And then I may just close that put out. I think we'll see short-term downside, a little reprieve, and then maybe some more long-term, mid-term downside. TMF just taking it. Hit today. That's okay. That's long-term. Just remember, TMF is a long-term play. HE is a mid-term play. September 28th, HE, the CEO is going to testify in U.S. Congress. This is after articles came out stating the Maui firefighters took a lunch break. Again, I've repeated this a couple times, but this is really good news for HE. Crew of Maui firefighters took a lunch break on August 8th, thinking they had successfully tamped down a blaze threatening the town of Lahaina, only the fire to later grow and race towards the historic town. How has HE not recovered at least a little bit to 21 off of that news? A series of very unfortunate events and some negligence. Very sad. That being said, even if HE lines started the fire department declared the fire out. Or contained. If HE did de-energize the lines, very well. Hawaiian Electric CEO to testify in Congress. 28th. 28th is a Thursday. Isn't that wonderful? Because what's going to happen is Thursday, the CEO is going to testify. She's going to come in, produce records that indeed they de-energize the lines, and then boom, the stock's going to explode, and you're going to see insider congressional trading, call outs by unusual whales, in my opinion. Which HE's taking a little hit today too, but that's fine. Hawkish Fed, I expected this coming in. We're going to wait and see though. We're going to hold strong, wait for this to recover. And every month going forward, I'm going to be putting probably about $500 every month, $500, more than likely into ARCC. Yep, MCB's down even further now. It just ticked. I'm up 28% on my MCB puts now. So this hasn't updated yet. This price should be down further. Let's open Active Trader Pro and see what it's saying. Yeah, no problem, Edward. Good to see you, man. Active Trader. Like, it's just a tough market right now, guys. If you didn't plan for the downside, if you didn't buy to the downside, you're just gonna have to hold for a while. I mean, this is it. We can't be up all the time. Seems like we were for a while, but all right, Active Trader won't open. MCB. Let's see. Says 33.90 on Fidelity. So, man, that nickel made that much of a difference? No way. This may be a setup for a really bad market event incoming. Oh, man. Should I just sell it? Should I just take the 30% and run? I'll tell you what. Put a limit order in for the ask. What the hell is that? Kitty, you better get down from there. Dude, this cat's crazy, man. This kitten's out of control. This new kitten just showed up on my porch the other day. All right, I put my MCB put sale in for close to mid, which would be a 50% gain. So let's see if it just pops and sells today. If not, I'll hold it into Friday and we'll see what happens. Because it does look like MCB wants to go further downside with all the news. Since they didn't roll rate backs, lending is going to get tight. All right. I really wish. I don't know what happened to MCB. I know the volume's really low, but whatever they did, the data stream for the ticker is so slow now, compared to previous times when I was playing it to the short side. Come on, HE, you can do it. TMF, getting hammered. Gonna load up more. This candle on HE is ridiculous. Why would HE be going down? There's no bad news. Maybe people selling stock, getting out of the market. Who knows? TM or HE is going to be a catalyst play, anyways. Yeah, there we go. I'm up 22% now on MCB. Man, you know what? MCB, this I may just hold my put for a while because this thing is. What's my duration? I've got October 20s on this, and I'm already printing hard. I'm already up 22%. This thing, if MCB falls off with the rest of these stocks and lending gets tighter, well, now it's saying it just ticked up. How did it go 2 clicks? Let's see. What's the market order value? 300 bucks. I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to keep slinging different plays here and there anyways. I think the 0 DTE options chain now has just made it so anything over 30, 40% on a play. So 30% on the MCB puts, that was a good play. That's what I need to start doing. Small, quick plays. Retail is going to have to retrain their brain because we were playing these options plays that would run 400 or 500% in the matter of a couple weeks. HE down due to market being down. Oh, absolutely, man. Good time to actually try to get in on some though. So that's the good news. My new process is these long-term plays I hold and I play some small options on the side like I did with MCB. Take 30%, walk away, take that paycheck, run to the bank with it. I'm going to have to buy more TMF though. It's looking good for entry. Let's see here. I mean, I don't see any other news for ARCC is actually holding up way stronger than most of the other folks are, but it looks like my calls are burnt on that one, so I'm just going to close them. That sucks. What's the duration on those, though? Those are October 20s, though. I got a lot of time. This could reverse and gap fill. Maybe bounce 19, reverse and gap fill. I'll hold the ARCC one. We'll see. Space, everything's down. I was up on everything yesterday. Now I'm down on everything today. That's how it goes. TMF taking a little hit on, but HE is my bigger position. TMF, HE long term. Nothing else to talk about. Hawkish Fed sucks. Market's coming down a little bit on a correction due to interest rates staying high. Lending is going to be tighter. Let's see. F-35 pilot ejects from 100 million plane over South Carolina due to bad weather. There's no way. There is no way the pilot ejected due to bad weather. I have a bad feeling that our plane was compromised. Hence why we had the CCP spy balloons flying over the U.S. You never know what they're doing. And a lot of U.S. government contracting agencies have really, really gotten compromised on their supply chain and verified vendors that they're allowed to use. So I think some of the components in the plane were compromised. I don't see any other big news though. Twitter's actually pretty quiet. I'm not even getting many alerts. Let's see. Tether makes strategic investment in Northern Data Group. Mark, Crims hang with Crims. Tether and crypto. I'm telling you, man. Every time anybody gets in trouble in crypto, they just build on top of the old corrosion, and that way, if you continue to build on old corrosion, building corrodes, you build over top of it, building corrodes, you build over it. You can't ever get a real investigation in any fraud. Elon Musk says it strains the media isn't covering the border crisis. Do you agree, or is it intentional? Intentional. Yep. All right, one last check at the chart, then I'm going to kick off and have some breakfast, man. Hope everybody else is doing good. I don't know what else you guys are all invested in, but me, I basically have some stacks of silver. I've actually put a lot of money down on my home this year. Most of my big cash I won went into going into the house. I'm all in HE already on leverage. Hope it doesn't kill me. Oh God, I never go over on margin, dude. Take it or lose it. I need to recoup 4 years of AMC at least to some extent. Yeah, well, we'll see, man, because the news of the firefighters technically being negligent, in my opinion, series of unfortunate events for sure, and I'm not blaming them, but it sounds like the power line fell, started the fire, they de-energized, they put the fire out or claimed it was out, left for lunch, and it flared up and burned the town down. That's really bad on the fire department. That's really bad. But that is not Hawaiian Electric's fault, which just got the $98 million grant. They're upgrading infrastructure. Give it September 28th. Say the CEO comes out and goes, here are records of us de-energizing the lines at the time of the fire. The fire department has already admitted that they left the scene. Then the stock maybe recovers to 21. Hold it tight. Give it 2 to 3, 4 months for the island to recover and Hawaiian Electric to finish restoring power. Wait for the dividend to be reissued. When they come out and they say, okay, we did this, everything's fixed, we took a hit, we're going to have good earnings next quarter, we're going to reinstate the dividend next quarter, that's when you see the stock recover. This is a great 12-month hold. TMF, a great 12-month hold. What I'm doing in the meantime is I'm playing volatility in little bits based on what we did with like MCB and the Fed and things like that. So yeah, MCB started ticking back up a little bit already. So the market may not even, maybe they take a little hit from the Fed. ARC's coming back up already, or it's starting to anyways. I thought it was down more than that. I thought it was down 2% earlier. Hopefully ARC ticks back up. HE will tick back up into next week. Everything looks like it took a morning hit because of the hawkish Fed, and then the market's going to just kind of go, okay, whatever. We'll see. Well, my dog's bark collar isn't working. That's great. I'm dropping 10K into House Hack. Meet Kevin's new company, not trying to pump, just answering what else we are involved in. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, maybe it does good, man. Who knows? I hope it does for you. I hope it does really good. Let us know, man. Next time, whenever you get a good update on that, come in and let us know what's going on with Meet Kevin's House Hack thing. I'm going to stay away from that. I'm going to just take these dividends in ARCC, wait for TMF to pump back up. I don't care if this takes 2 years. If TMF, where were we at before the pandemic on TMF? Let's check that. Let's really think about this. And they were paying dividends. This is 2019. This thing was squeezing during the pandemic. I think the pandemic was maybe right here. Well, when it was declared was in 2020, right? Here, 2019, market all the new money came into the market and inflation started going crazy. TMF squeezed out and then it dumped. Look at this crap. Squeezed, dumped, recovered. But even before that, TMF was floating. Even before the pandemic, we hit during the pandemic, TMF at its low was floating 16, 20 bucks. So I'm just going to give this a year or two and let this thing squeeze back up. If it squeezes, maybe it slow rolls back up to new all-time highs. We'll see. Is it at a new all-time low today? I think it did. I think it hit an all-time low. $523. Yeah, it looks like we got a new all-time low today. Interesting. Let's work on our chart here a little bit. This looks like it's going to be a little bit better. Wedge formation. This little pump here is when people started talking about a TMF squeeze, and I think retail rallied into it maybe. Who knows? Maybe this thing dumps off under $4. I don't know. I think with 2 more rate hikes on the table and the presidential election coming up next year, I think you'll see this thing start to try to reverse. But look at all the gaps to the upside on it. I know it trades different than just a normal stock, but there's so many gaps to the upside on this thing that it's wild. So we'll see. Maybe we recover 5% tomorrow, or next week we get some good news. The Fed comes out and issues a couple statements, and we'll see. But September 28th, Hawaiian Electric, congressional hearing with the CEO, TMF, 12-month-old minimum for me, possible squeeze scenario. MCB closed my puts out, took a 30% win on that one. Space floating around, bad market today. Was trying to break out of its falling wedge. Now it's going sideways. Hopefully tomorrow we see some more breakout action on it. Good flights all around so far. I believe they have another flight coming up. Like I said, OSTK, I don't know where the floor is on this one because of the news that came out from Bed Bath & Beyond, but don't forget that they have a big stake in T0, Grain Chain, and stuff like that. There's a lot of cogs moving behind the scene. So, but I would say be careful with Christmas. Be careful with Christmas earnings, man. On MarketWatch, HE a similar short percent to AMC, official at least, and perhaps a bit old. Yeah, I think HE shorted to piss, honestly. I think they're not reporting it. HE is going to be one, and I'm glad I got in the stock instead of just holding the calls. I think HE may end up popping back up in a little squeeze when this thing's all said and done. And you'll see the right people are in the play at the end of the day on this one. Retail keyed up on it a little bit, and I think they were like, okay, we got to drag this sideways just a little bit, but I mean, we're still sitting in decent channels, so we'll see. Maybe it bounces here. Maybe we get 1267 and it bounces on good news. Should have broke out here. Shorts are piling in on it hard, so I think everybody's preparing for Greg. I think everybody's preparing for a really bad year next year. Or a really bad winter anyway, so we'll see. Either way, you guys have a great day. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your comments. Please hit the like button. I'll kick back on tomorrow, and we'll see if there's any new news to hit. And I'm going to try to consolidate my streams to a little shorter time period if there's no actual legitimate news on these stocks. And we'll just talk and see what you guys are doing and what I'm doing. So recent price jump shows that good news isn't priced in. Yeah, absolutely true, brother. I totally agree. But September 28th is around the corner. We're 7 days away, and we'll see the CEO live. I'll stream it live from the congressional hearing, and I got a feeling she's going to come out really strong. Here's the records. We de-energized. It's already been proven that the Lahaina fire was basically reignited due to negligence by the fire department and the government's negligence in not maintaining infrastructure for firefighting capabilities. So either way, boom. I think she's a sharp one, man. I think she's a sharp CEO. I got a good feeling about her. So either way, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck in your investments. Froggy Stonks out.